Well, they're accused of scamming thousands of homeowners across the state and putting 40-year liens on their homes. And now MV Realty accepts a multi-million-dollar defeat after a 3-year court battle with the state. 10 Investigates Emerald Morrow breaks down what this means for you.
Your home is often your biggest investment. But one signature threatened that asset and almost sent Vivian Lopez into financial ruin.
It's a horrible contract. How were they even allowed to put liens on people's houses?
We first met Lopez about 3 years ago, and she is one of more than 9,000 homeowners across the state, from Jacksonville to Tampa to Miami, who signed these homeowner benefit agreements with MV Realty. The company paid her $1,445 just for signing on. But she didn't realize the contract was for 40 years and would be filed like a lien against her house. And if she ever decided to sell, she had to use them as realtors or face very stiff penalties.
Oh, it was very stressful. We'd been in a home, not even knowing or being told that we had a lien.
Over the last 3 years, dozens of homeowners have come forward exclusively to 10 Investigates.
It's overwhelming.
I've never heard of a realtor that holds you ransom for 40 years.
They're preying on the poor.
We've also sat down with attorneys, dug through pages of court records, attended numerous court hearings, and even traveled to the company's South Florida headquarters.
The company is going to make no comment on camera, period.
Right. No, I understand that, but you got to also understand there are like a lot of families who have a lot of questions for the company.
We think this is an overreach by the Attorney General, and you look at the contract's clear. Everybody knew what they were getting into when they signed the contract.
Led by former reality TV star Amanda Zachman, MV Realty has been tangled in a lengthy lawsuit with the Attorney General's office. The state accuses the company of a, quote, complex and deceptive scheme, swindling consumers out of their home equity. Lopez testified in the case.
Breach of contract is really what I was emphasizing.
During those proceedings, last year the company agreed to clear the so-called liens from property titles, only to have some homeowners come forward to us directly, complaining they weren't following through.
They're still holding $12,000 of mine, almost $13,000, $12,700 to be exact.
The state later suspended the real estate licenses of MV Realty, Zachman, and her partners. And now, after months of litigation and appeals, the Attorney General's office claims victory after a judge entered a final order requiring the company to pay $3 million. A default on payment would hike the penalty to $18 million. Homeowners say they hope that means restitution for them. Others suggest tempering expectations.
I think homeowners probably wouldn't see any money at all if there is a scenario where they don't comply with a $3 million stipulated damages judgment, and there's the increased amount of the $18 million later. Potentially there could be some amount of that to consumers, but I would have no expectations on seeing a dollar if I'm a consumer.
How much do they owe you?
It's somewhere between, I would say, $16,000 to $17,000.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, especially for a single parent.
Even if the company does not pay, MV Realty is now barred from doing business in the state of Florida. They've also waived all their rights to appeal, and all of those homeowner benefit agreements are no longer enforceable in the state.
The true win is having that document that's really hijacked your property now for years probably, having that removed from the public record, being able to sell your home, being able to mortgage it.
Legal experts say this new court ruling also sets a strong precedent for preventing other bad actors from harming homeowners and the assets they've worked so hard to protect.
If you could say anything to MV Realty, what would you say?
Yeah, my real words would be, I told you I was going to come after you, and I'm not going to stop until you get what you deserve.
Now, MV Realty has until the end of June to pay the state, and experts say this whole legal battle is a reminder that you should never sign any sort of contract related to your home without having an attorney review it first. Emerald Morrow, 10 Investigates.